So I've decided to do some game tests on my M2 Mac Mini that I just got. It's the base model, but I did upgrade to 16 gigabytes of RAM. So 1440p medium and just shy of 30 FPS. Now I will advise that this type of game here, Baldur's Gate 3, you know, Divinity Original Sin, these type games, you can play these at 30, you're not going to die. They're turn-based strategy games, so there's really no problem with playing them at 30 FPS. Okay, so I mean, it works fine. 30 FPS in this game is totally reasonable. 1440p medium with just the lightest FSR, ultra quality, which won't really impact visuals that much. And yeah, now we're at, you know, 37. Let's see what it drops during combat. Yeah, it's pretty rock solid now, above 30. Quite a bit above 30 now. We're at 41-ish FPS. So, you know, if you want more FPS, you can certainly turn up FSR. When you're on 1440p, FSR looks pretty good. On, you know, lower resolutions, it can kind of make it a bit blurry, but here it looks fine. Yeah, so 1080p high, you don't need FSR, you're already at 30. And again, this game is playable at 30. This is how I would play. I wouldn't shoot for 60, there's no point in a game like this. Miracle, he didn't slip. Yeah, I mean, now you're up to 40. The game kind of looks the same. I mean, it's, yeah. So, very, very playable at 1080p and 1440p, to be honest. At 1440p, that was cool. At 1440p, I would probably use a little bit of FSR, ultra quality. At 1080p, it doesn't look like you need it. I mean, this game's still beta, too. This game is not out for like 6 months. So it's not going to be optimized. Yeah, look at that. Now we're at 45. So in this game, Baldur's Gate 3, which isn't even out yet. So just take that, you know, realize the fact that the game will get better as it gets optimized. But in this game here, 1440p very playable and 1080p very playable. So 1440p and epic presets. And not the best, right about 24 FPS. So that's a bit much. Let's turn it down just a touch. So 1440p high instead of epic, and we see a huge boost to performance here. Looks like we're up to basically, and looks pretty good, above 60. So for 1440p gamers, if you have a Mac Mini M2, just throw it in high instead of epic. Epic was pretty, it's down to 30, it was okay. So it looks like the lowest here, you know, and there's all this stuff going on, we're down to 45. So I think if you play at 1440p high, you're going to be going between 45 and 60, which is great. So 1080p epic, and now it's playable, you know, 40 FPS. So if you have a 1080p screen, 35 to 40 is very doable here. So it looks like about 45 FPS at 1080p epic presets, so certainly you can play the game at 1080p. So 1920 by 1080 high, and we're up to closer to 65, 70. Surprisingly, not as much of a jump for resolution as I thought from 1080p. So, so if you have a 1440p screen, it looks like you can just play 1440p high, and away you go. If you have a 1080p screen, I mean, you can also play at high, but you're getting... Okay, so here we are in Rust. For some reason, I can't get the performance indicators to pop up. Steam doesn't work. The in-game console doesn't seem to work either to do it, and neither does the Mac thing. So whatever, we'll just play it by eye. Okay, so 1920 by 1080p. So this is 1080p. It's still running above 30, I can tell. I mean, it's very obvious. But let's go to whatever these trees are over here and see how they look. So I'll just cut to that because it's really far away. Okay, so those people have guns, so I'm probably going to die. I don't actually know what I'm doing, but I have like a Oh, okay, I have a torch. That's cool. Oh. Get burnt, pig. Oh, I'm gonna die. Okay, I'm dead. Cool. Apparently don't fight pigs. 1440p if that really tanks it. So now we're at 1440p. Oh, it's still running really well. This is definitely above 30. Like, it's very obvious to me. Okay, I don't actually know how to loot that person, but whatever. There's like sleeping people on the ground. They're naked. So apparently 1440p is fine. So I don't know, let's turn the graphics up even more to work. So we're gonna have to do a qualitative assessment of how playable this game is. I mean, you don't play games based on FPS, you play them based on how they look, how they feel. And this is super smooth. So 1440p with pretty high settings. And there's a naked person. And whatever. Yeah, so basically maxed. So 4K maxed. And I don't know, there was no VSync option either, so I guess we're locked at 60. Obviously we can go higher because it's not demanding, but yeah, so I mean, there we go. I'm not going to subject you guys to this for hours, but the game runs absolutely flawlessly. 4K ultra settings, you can't turn anything else up any higher, and it runs incredible.